Hello, welcome back. This is Jeff Byers and this is Andy 255, and we are working with rigid body constraints, and this is the last one, the barrier constraint. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, let's go ahead and get rid of the objects we have here. Let's get rid of all that. And we want to keep the ground plane still. So the barrier constraint is extremely straightforward. It basically creates an invisible barrier for your object. So if I click on a sphere and move that up, and let's say go to fields of solvers, barrier constraint, click on this. Let's go ahead and just leave it as is. Go ahead and create it and just move it down. It will just basically stop that. It's a barrier to stop it. So think of this as an infinite object. So this little piece here is an infinite object. You can rotate it, okay, and animate it if you want to. So let's go ahead and add a gravity to that in dynamic relationships editor, and let's go ahead and play it. So it's pretty simple. It stops it dead, and it stops it at the center of the object. Okay. I particularly don't like that. So if I rotate it, you can see what happens here with this simulation. It will just bounce right off. So it can be used as a barrier that way as well. So again, very simplistic. Whatever you want it to be used for, it's really up to you. I never use it. I use something totally different if I want to stop it as far as a barrier goes. Let me go back and show you what I mean by infinite. So let's move the object up farther, and I'll show you what I mean by infinite. So when I go in here and move that up, you can see that once it's past that infinitely, so now I'm going to go ahead and show you that it just goes forever until it hits that object there, and then it'll hit the barrier again. Okay? And just go on forever until the simulation's done. So let's look at it again. It will slide until it hits the barrier. If I go in here and rotate it a little bit more, like that, you can see what I'm talking about. So now it's just going to follow that infinitely all the way through until it stops. Okay? Okay, so that's what that means by infinite barrier. I normally don't ever use that. So I usually use just a surface myself. And you can use a flat plane if you want to. Normally I don't do that with dynamics, a flat plane, but you can create a flat plane and stop the ball that way if you want to. And it will actually react to it. Let's do a passive rigid body. And then what I can do then is just turn it off, invisibility. So now I need to add a gravity to that. Okay, so now we've got a barrier too, but it's a lot more. It's a lot easier to control, the one that I created here. I can do a lot more than I can with this, but I wanted to show you either way how you can use the barrier. Okay? You can guide your objects. That's kind of cool. You can use it that way. Let's go ahead and guide that object. So if I want to go ahead and guide that object here and set a barrier so it kind of hits that barrier and then follows that. Okay? You can do that. So there's some things you can do with it. Anyway, that's the barrier. I don't usually use it, but I use basically create my own barrier and turn the visibility on and off if I need to. Alright, that's it for this video, and now we're going to start working on the next video, which is our assignment, which is creating a simplistic Rube Goldberg machine. I'll see you in the next assignment. Have a good day.